Hi there, YouTube. Steven here. Coming to you today on a very cold and windy spring day, I guess, here in Iowa. I'm actually down in my little smoking cave here in the basement. Got my little fake wood stove going. It's cold, and I wanted to make a video. I have an update to give in regard to my last video. So I'll probably talk about my pipes. I've got a couple of pipes I want to talk about, but we'll do that after the update. But smoking some HH Vintage Syrian, love it, and drinking my new favorite, don't laugh, PBR hard coffee. This stuff's fantastic. It's kind of like a Starbucks double shot in cream with alcohol. It's not all bad. The reason I'm coming to you today is the last video I made back in the end of February. There had been a boy missing. He left his job at Target and disappeared. They had a couple of, I guess he had him on video camera, had a store nearby, and then his phone pinged the last time, and it was in an area that me and maybe 100 people showed up to do a search at. And I actually made a video and followed along the river and actually had lunch and made a video for you folks right there on that riverbank. And it's taken me about a week to come to terms to make this video, because they just a week ago Saturday they found his body, and sadly it was found right about where I was at. And play it back and forth in my mind. Felt guilty. I felt like I let the young man down and his family down. They could have found him, a couple of months ago. I don't know. I talked to a good friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, and he said that, he probably was under the ice. He could have been hooked up on a snag under the ice. He could have went in and been submerged for a long time. Strangely enough, he could have been dumped there the day before. You don't know. Apparently, he was on the North River bank, right where I was at. Most of the searchers were on the South River bank. There was a park down there, and I could hear them. I think I even said something in the video that I could see them all, going through the park and whatnot. And I and just very few people were on the North River bank. But apparently, some kayakers found him. Of course, with the ice gone, that changes things, and he was found. So yeah, I had a hard time with it. Strangely enough, what's going on in our situation in the world right now, and my job, I guess we're essential workers. The bike industry has gone off the rails. Bikes are the new toilet paper, and we're overworked and we're exhausted, and all of our tempers and our emotions are right bubbling under the surface. And when we got word that this boy was found, it was a bit much. And like I said, I went through just some guilt. I spent 18 years as a police officer, and I thought, boy, I have some training in this area. Maybe I could help. And it just was the luck of the draw that he was found about where I sat and had my lunch. About the end. That was about the end of my search. I went back through the woods on the way back. I didn't continue on the riverbank, but I searched that riverbank. It was quite a long drop off, and there were lots of snags, a lot of trees in the water, and a lot of ice. I missed him, or he wasn't there. He could have been dropped off that day and just floated along until somebody found him. But at least the family gets some closure. He went to my two youngest kids' school. They didn't know him, but obviously the school's pretty shook up. But at least the family has him back, and that all comes to an end. It sounds like there didn't appear to be any foul play. No injuries or anything like that. So we may never know what happened. you jump in the water, fall in the water, tried to walk home and got disoriented. You know, we may never know. But like I said, I'm kind of getting right with it now. It was tough there for a while, but doing okay now. So, just real quick, just to remember him. There's a picture of him. His name is Abdi Sharif. He was 18 years old. Same age as my youngest son. Probably pretty ill prepared to be out in the cold walking home or whatever happened. But anyway, that's the update, and it is what it is. Life goes on, and it's just part of the circle, I guess. So anyway, on I guess happier news. I came home and my daughter, my birthday was about a month ago or thereabouts, and my daughter had a package for me, and she had decided, to get me a gift, and I came home to a beautiful OMS Dublin Fieldmaster pipe, which I just absolutely love. That, very heavily rusticated with this smooth rim and the smooth logo platform there, and kind of a short nose warmer. Just a incredibly beautiful pipe. So Justine, thank you so much. It means the world to me. Then, talking about pipes and talking about the situation we find ourselves in, I haven't made any videos about COVID or Corona or the virus or Zombie Nation or whatever we want to call it. But it's there. My two sons are in two of the hot spots in the United States. One's in Chicago and one's in Los Angeles. And like I said, there's that fear, that panic that is just under the surface. Are we going to be okay? We're all going to come out of this all right. So I haven't made any videos about it. I haven't said anything on YouTube or anything about it. But as Americans, most of us have come into some extra money. Something that Congress decided that we need some help with, and it's helpful. My wife Louisa, her hours have been cut just about in half. They're at the daycare. I'm still working full time. The kids are still working their part-time jobs, so we're fine financially. But I guess I understand that the reason that we got the money is to kind of jumpstart the economy, and I'm saving mine because, or most of mine. But you just don't know what's going to happen if one of us would get sick, and it's my understanding that the medical bills associated with this virus can be a little bit taxing. So I'm saving most of mine, but I decided I was going to get myself something to remember this year that never was, the year that won't be forgotten, whatever you want to relate it to. And I can't keep this lit while I'm talking, but I had seen a pipe not long back, a search I was doing or something, and then Stuffing Things did a video about it, and I fell in love with it. And I'm a huge fan of Bing Crosby, as so many of us are, and I've got the 7LA Bing's Favorite, which is a beautiful pipe. My wife actually got me that, and I love it. But this particular pipe, and you can look at Stuffing Things video about it. He does a fantastic review like he always does, but I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And I thought, I've got this extra money, and this is something I can remember. I don't want to call it my COVID-19 pipe, but it's a remembrance. I like to do that. Get a pipe to remember an occasion with. And anyway, it's called a Merchant Service, and this is the special. This is the rusticated version. Extremely long, extremely thin. Got the nice band on it. This is, from what I've seen in pictures, this is much more reminiscent of the pipes that Bing Crosby smoked. I think there was some story that he actually purchased many of the Merchant Service pipes, the original company, and this is a company that's been reopened or restarted, and kind of in honor of that, I think. I don't know that whole story, but that's what I take from it. And I have a picture on my phone of Bing smoking a pipe very, very similar to this. His was smooth. I just love rustication. It just feels nice in the hand. So that's my little gift to myself with this extra money that so many Americans have found themselves with. And, you know, like I said, I just wanted to show a couple of pipes to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, because the update part of it was needed. I told you folks that I would hit you up with an update when I found something, and wasn't sure we ever would, but we did, and there it is. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and relight my pipe and have some more of my PBR coffee, and talk to you guys again soon. Take good care.